Star Trek might come to LEGO. For years, many fans have dreamed of the possibility of seeing LEGO and Star Trek together in an official set. But honestly, I didn't have much hope for this to happen, until now. Over the past few weeks, I've been seeing leaks, rumors, and theories claiming that LEGO might be working on official Star Trek sets. At first, I thought it was just another nonsense rumor, but the more I investigated, the more it made sense. So, what's up, LEGO fans? It's Legonymous, and in this video, I want to talk about all the leaks I've found, the issues that could prevent this from becoming a reality, and most importantly, whether we can really expect Star Trek to come to LEGO in the near future. For as long as I can remember, Star Trek has been a constant presence in the world of collectibles and toys, with action figures, scale models, and even construction sets. But there's one thing that's always been missing: an official LEGO Star Trek set. And this, honestly, has always struck me as odd. If we look at the collaborations Star Trek has done over the years, we find that the franchise has worked with various toy and construction brands. One of the best-known examples is Mega Bloks, now Mega Construx, which in 2016 launched an official line of sets based on the classic series. These sets included a detailed USS Enterprise, articulated figures of the main characters, and even iconic sets like the Command Bridge. The quality was decent, but they never had the massive impact that a LEGO set could have achieved. So why has LEGO never made a Star Trek set? The most obvious answer seems to be the eternal conflict between Star Wars and Star Trek. Since LEGO acquired the Star Wars license in 1999, the franchise has become one of its most successful lines of all time. This has led many to believe that LEGO simply doesn't want to risk adding another major sci-fi saga to its catalog, especially one that has always been seen as Star Wars' competition in pop culture. However, this hasn't stopped the LEGO building community. Over the years, especially in recent months, thousands of fans have designed Star Trek MOCs. If you search forums like Eurobricks or platforms like Flickr and Instagram, you can find absolutely stunning builds, from gigantic replicas of the USS Enterprise to detailed LEGO versions of Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and more. Even on platforms like LEGO Ideas, where fans can submit official sets, multiple proposals have emerged to include Star Trek in the official LEGO line. Although, so far, none have been approved. So, if the demand exists, and there's an entire community building these models, why has LEGO still not embraced Star Trek? The answer may have to do with licensing rights. This is because Star Trek has changed hands throughout its history, and its merchandising rights have been held by multiple companies over the years. It wouldn't be surprising if LEGO tried to obtain the license at some point, but ran into legal barriers or exclusive agreements with other brands. However, recently, new leaks have begun to suggest that this could change. Recently, exciting rumors have surfaced suggesting that LEGO may be preparing its first official Star Trek set. According to reports from sources such as Brick Fanatics and the Minifigure store, LEGO is expected to release the LEGO Icons 1035-6 USS Enterprise D set in November 2025, coinciding with Black Friday. This model, consisting of approximately 3,600 pieces, is said to represent the iconic ship from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Furthermore, it is speculated that this set will include a notable selection of minifigures, including Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Commander William T. Riker, Lieutenant Commander Data, Lieutenant Worf, Lieutenant Commander Geordi LaForge, Dr. Beverly Crusher, Wesley Crusher, Counselor Deanna Troi, and Guinan. This information has been announced by sources such as Promobricks. In addition to the main set, LEGO is rumored to offer a promotional gift with purchase to accompany the launch. This gift with the purchase of the set would be a replica of the Type 15 shuttle, which would include an exclusive Ensign Rolaren minifigure. This promotion is expected to be available starting November 28, 2025. It is important to note that, to date, LEGO has not officially confirmed these rumors. However, the fan community is full of expectations, as a collaboration between LEGO and Star Trek would represent a significant milestone for both franchises. Meanwhile, other companies have explored the Star Trek license. For example, Mega Bloks launched a line of sets based on the original Star Trek series in 2016. However, the possibility of LEGO, known for its quality and attention to detail, producing Star Trek sets has generated considerable enthusiasm among fans. As we get closer to the rumored release date, more details and potentially an official confirmation from LEGO are likely to emerge. Until then, the community remains vigilant for any new information that may emerge regarding this highly anticipated collaboration. You might be wondering, not Legonymous. So is there going to be a collaboration with Star Trek or not? Well, first of all, we need to understand why, until now, we haven't seen official LEGO sets based on the Star Trek universe. The most logical answer is that for many years, the Star Trek building rights have been held by Mega Bloks, now Mega Construx, a brand that has released several sets based on the franchise. However, the problem with Mega Construx is that it has never managed to capture the same level of popularity as LEGO. Its sets, while interesting, have not managed to achieve the same level of sales as LEGO with other sets, nor have they had a significant impact on the Star Trek fan community. Instead, many fans of the franchise have preferred to create their own MOCs using LEGO pieces, demonstrating the great interest in seeing official LEGO Star Trek sets. So, what's changed? Why could it now be a reality? One of the key factors is that, in recent years, LEGO has been significantly expanding its catalog of licenses. We've seen them incorporate franchises that, until recently, seemed impossible to see in LEGO form, such as Super Mario, Sonic the Hedgehog, and even Dungeons & Dragons. This shows that LEGO is increasingly willing to explore new collaborations with licenses that have great potential. Another positive point is that Mega Construx has lost relevance in the brick-building market. Although it still releases some sets, the reality is that it isn't competing as strongly as before. If the Star Trek license with Mega has expired or is close to expiring, this could open the door for LEGO to take over. Furthermore, LEGO has been increasingly exploring the adult market with its LEGO Icons and LEGO Ideas lines, where they have launched sets aimed at collectors and nostalgic fans. Star Trek would fit perfectly into this category, as its fan base is largely made up of adults who grew up watching the franchise's series and films. A detailed set of the USS Enterprise or a space station like Deep Space Nine would be a hit with collectors. On the other hand, there are also some obstacles that could hinder Star Trek's arrival at LEGO. One of them is that LEGO already has a strong relationship with Star Wars, its most successful line of sets based on a science fiction franchise. Although Star Trek and Star Wars aren't exactly direct rivals, it's possible that LEGO would prefer to avoid any conflict of interest between the two brands. However, there is a major difference between the two franchises. Star Wars is more action and conflict-oriented, while Star Trek has a more exploratory and philosophical approach. This means that a LEGO Star Trek set wouldn't necessarily compete with Star Wars sets, but would offer something completely different. Detailed models of iconic spaceships, exploration scenes, and key characters from the saga. If the rumors are true and a LEGO Star Trek set is indeed on the way, we could be looking at the start of a new line of sets that will appeal to both LEGO and Star Trek fans. But until there's official confirmation from LEGO, we can only speculate and eagerly await any announcements. Now the big question is, do you really think LEGO Star Trek will become a reality? Or is it just another rumor that will end in nothing? Let me know in the comments. Ultimately, everything points to LEGO Star Trek being more possible now than ever. With the decline of Mega Construx, LEGO's expansion into new licenses, and the enormous interest from the community, we can only wait for official confirmation. If this set really becomes a reality, we could be witnessing a new era of sets that would make history for the brand. And now I want to know your opinion. Do you think LEGO will finally add Star Trek to its catalog? Or is this just another rumor? Let me know in the comments. I want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with all the latest LEGO news, leaks, and updates, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing. There are some very interesting videos coming up that you won't want to miss. See you in the next video, builders.